A juror convicted an innocent man, swore they saw evidence that was never shown, and passed a lie detector test proving they believed it. Their brain had invented a memory so real, so detailed, so certain, that no amount of cross-examination could shake it. And here's what makes this truly disturbing. That juror wasn't lying. They weren't confused. Their memory was simply wrong, and they had no way to know it. This isn't a rare glitch. A landmark study found that 68% of jurors recalled specific details from a trial that were never actually presented. 68%. More than two-thirds of people deciding someone's fate operating on memories their own brains fabricated. We talk endlessly about false memories in witnesses, in victims, in suspects. But almost nobody talks about what happens inside the juror's mind. And that blind spot in the system is costing innocent people their freedom. Here's the problem the justice system refuses to face. Memory is not a recording. It is a reconstruction. Every time you retrieve a memory, you are not playing it back. You are rebuilding it, using fragments, logic, emotion, and whatever else is floating in your environment at that moment. And in a courtroom, that environment is aggressively hostile to accuracy. You have two opposing attorneys, each one strategically flooding jurors with emotionally charged language, vivid imagery, and carefully sequenced narratives designed to override neutral thinking. You have witnesses contradicting each other, evidence shown multiple times across multiple days, hours of testimony blurring together under fluorescent lights. By the time a juror reaches the deliberation room, their memory of what actually happened in that courtroom is already contaminated. But it gets worse. The contamination doesn't stop when the evidence stops. It accelerates the moment jurors start talking to each other. This is what psychologists call the misinformation effect, and in a deliberation room, it runs unchecked. When one juror describes something with confidence, even if they're wrong, other jurors' brains update their own memories to match. Automatically, unconsciously. It's not peer pressure. It's not groupthink in the way we usually mean it. It's deeper. One person's false memory literally overwrites another person's accurate one. Elizabeth Loftus, the cognitive psychologist who spent decades dismantling courtroom mythology, demonstrated this in study after study. Post-event information doesn't just influence memory. It replaces it. And here is the detail that should keep you up at night. The replaced memory feels more vivid, more certain, more emotionally resonant than the original. False memories don't feel false. They feel like truth with the volume turned up. Now think about what this means for how evidence is presented. Photographs shown twice. Video footage replayed. Testimony read back during deliberations. Every repetition increases the juror's confidence in their memory. And research shows that confidence and accuracy move in opposite directions once contamination starts. The more certain a juror feels, the more likely they are to be remembering something their brain assembled, not something they actually saw. Here's where it gets stranger. Emotional testimony doesn't just affect how jurors feel. It changes what they remember seeing. When a victim describes their trauma with visible distress, which is real, valid, and human, jurors' brains begin filling in visual detail that was never presented. Crime scene images they imagined become memories they believe they saw. This is called source monitoring failure, and it is not a character flaw. It is a hardware problem in how memory works under emotional load. The brain tags memories with a source. Did I see this, or did I imagine it? Under stress, under complexity, under the cumulative pressure of a trial, those tags fall off. And the justice system is not built to account for this. Jurors are told to remember. They're never told that the act of remembering is itself unreliable. Now here's the open loop I seeded at the start, and its answer is more unsettling than you expected. That juror who passed a lie detector test after swearing they saw evidence that didn't exist, the polygraph measures physiological stress responses. It measures whether you believe what you're saying, and they believed it completely. The machine confirmed this person is not lying, because they weren't. Their brain had simply written a memory that never happened and labeled it real. So what can actually be done about this? Because memory is fallible without a solution is just despair dressed up as insight. First, cognitive load management. The practice of presenting evidence in long, emotionally dense blocks should be restructured. Research shows memory accuracy drops sharply after 90 minutes of continuous testimony. Structured breaks, evidence summaries with neutral language, and clear separation between different witnesses, these aren't comfort measures. They are memory hygiene. Second, juror note-taking should be mandatory, not optional. Studies show jurors who take notes during testimony produce significantly more accurate memories during deliberation. External records compete with false internal ones. Third, and this one is radical, but evidence-backed, jurors should be explicitly told before testimony begins that memory is reconstructive, that they may feel certain about things they did not actually witness, and that confidence is not the same as accuracy. That single disclosure, when tested, measurably reduced false memory rates in mock jury studies. Not eliminated them, but reduced them. Knowing the brain can do this makes the brain slightly less likely to do it unchecked. The system treats verdicts as the output of 12 rational minds weighing objective reality. The science says something very different. Verdicts are the output of 12 reconstructing brains, shaped by narrative, emotion, repetition, and each other. The memory of a crime that never existed in a mind of someone who was never there, deciding the fate of someone who may be innocent, that is not a flaw at the edges of the justice system. That is a flaw at its center. If this changed how you see the idea of beyond reasonable doubt, follow the channel, like this video, and tell me in the comments, should jurors be warned about false memory before a trial even starts?